Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Samantha, and this is my June 2024 Ascension Energies update. And the theme this month is freedom from suffering. And the archetypes we're going to be embodying this month are the lover and the magical child. And we have a heart chakra focus this month. And the keywords that you're going to need to work with this month are emotional courage, forgiveness, and pure courageous potential. And we're also in the cosmic creative cycle of water. And that's all about having faith, continuing to have faith and trust in your process and that you will get all that you need. Flow, being in the divine flow, and finding wisdom. So how do we ease our suffering, or how do we find freedom from our suffering? And this is the question that we're going to be working with this month, because we now have the potential to do that, given where we are in our spiritual awakening. And as that continues to unfold, we have the opportunity to explore suffering. And suffering comes in many ways. It could be emotional, it could be physical, it can be mental, and also spiritual. And our spirituality and self-mastery is linked to this. So as I teach in one of my courses, Navigating Spiritual Embodiment, everything starts as a spiritual issue and works its way down from there. And if it ends up in the physical, it's been there a long, long time, okay? Even many lifetimes. So to transcend suffering on any level, we have to reach a level of spiritual awareness and consciousness to unburden the physical 3D reality that we're in, including ourselves, the body, and really release density and constriction on all levels. So hence the support that we've been receiving from the universal coding and all the galactic events that's been happening. And for those of you that follow along with me, you know that in May, we had a historic number of very strong X-class solar flares and solar storms, geomagnetic storms. And this really pushed a lot of debris from the subconscious and from the cellular system, from the body, the organs, all the way up for us to take a look at and release on many levels. And this allowed us to bring in more light. So be the light. And there was more enlightenment that came out of this internally and more clarity. So we're seeing things more clearly now, or should be, and releasing past emotional pain, so that as we let go of our pain stories, the body begins to come back into more balance, including the nervous system, which tends to get very triggered when we're in, pain stories and are triggered through them. So we're now moving into a more sense of calm to a certain degree. We still have the pain, from the heart that we need to let go of this month, but you may be seeing some easing in your symptoms or things coming to a head if you have health issues. And last month we worked with the 8th chakra. So that is the gateway to the upper realms, which I said is the key to our ascension process. And we're moving to a place of higher awareness, and more deep subconscious debris, as I said, was unearthed. But we have been working our way through that. So all these cosmic events that we're having are ensuring the evolution of our species, and we cannot suppress things anymore the way we used to, even a few years ago. But particularly since we started the DNA upgrade that I mentioned in February, and that was more of an embodiment type of DNA upgrade through the chakras 1 to 6, so through the body. And we had to clear a lot through the body in order for us to continue to upgrade and move up in vibration and in our consciousness and awareness. Okay, to break out of the old fear, lack, and control paradigm. That's that old scarcity paradigm that we've been living in, and that people can be very easily controlled when they're in that type of paradigm. So we can't numb anymore. We can't self-medicate. We can't check out. We can't stay busy. I mean, you can try, but things within you in terms of what needs to be looked at and the shadow that comes up, it cannot be tucked away the way it used to. And any tactic that worked before will not work anymore. So, and as uncomfortable as the ascension process is, and we're all in this, there's no way around it, only through it. Okay. People will continue to try to not be in it, but that's not going to work. And the pressure becomes more and more and more as the galactic events continue to bring in the ascension coding to raise our consciousness and awareness and help us live differently. That's really what this is about. And so by becoming conscious of our states of being and recognizing that each thought, feeling, and action is a choice, we can move past being a powerless victim. Because really, when we're in that old paradigm of fear, scarcity, control, and lack, we are a victim. And this year, we're working to break out of that. We're working on the root chakra, as I mentioned in January when I do my yearly overview, and we are leaving that behind. We are able to move into nurturing ourselves and embrace the Earth Mother archetype and take responsibility for our own peace and healing instead of depending on others. And when we do this, life becomes smoother for us. That's being in the flow. We see it as a process and we embrace self-empowerment. And that's what you're being asked to do. We feel connective and constructive in the world around us. We start to see the benefit of helping others. And this is what I call being in service. And we look for signs to guide us. So angel numbers, signs in nature, feeling very connected to everything around us and seeing the mirroring outside of ourselves. Okay, that is what this ascension process is helping us to do. So we surrender to the will of the universe, right? And we participate halfway with the universe. That's the key. And conversely, as we raise our consciousness, as well, we no longer try to change or fix others. And you may be noticing more and more that that's what's happening. You're letting go and just letting others do what they need to do. And you take responsibility for yourself and you give others the space to do the same. And as we do that, then each of us will move into more co-creative relationships. So we're really rebirthing ourselves, especially now, April, May. Okay, but we started in February. We're really rebirthing ourselves to move out of the victim consciousness. And this is at great speed, and we're releasing any fear and limitation, really, okay, and moving into that higher consciousness, particularly last month in May when we had all of those really strong solar flare influences that asked us to move much more quickly up into higher consciousness and awareness, as well as compassion and love, because that's the new paradigm. And this isn't an easy road, but it is immensely fulfilling on a certain level. And you may find, even though you may be struggling physically, mentally, emotionally, you have these sort of breakthroughs where you can see life so clearly and so well, even if it's only for a little bit. So those who are participating in the process actively are really making incredible changes in themselves. And yes, we are all walking through fire, it feels like, and choosing to confront the fears, but you have to choose to do that. And really look at outmoded beliefs and thought patterns and how you can shift in your life, right? And it can be as easy as asking for more help, whereas before you would have done it all on your own, sharing with people. There's many ways this can come through for you, but really challenging how you saw life and the stories that you were living in. So April and May as well really pushed us in that way to take a look at that. And so in all of this, by becoming conscious of our states of being and recognizing that each thought, feeling, and action is a choice, then we can really move past being that powerless victim and take responsibility. Okay. So this month, the archetypes that we can work with are in the heart chakra. And they are the lover and the magical child. And these are heart-based, okay, ascension archetypes that really can help us to transcend suffering and pain, to heal the heart, and to see infinite potential in everything. Allow us to love and work in collective harmony with others, and really create our own reality with spirit. Okay, so the lover really helps us with loving without limitation. It helps us expand the heart. And so you're going to do a lot more clearing here, but at the same time, understanding clear emotional boundaries. So that will be coming more online for you this month. So make sure you continue to be really honest about your feelings, to sit in that, to let people know how you feel in a way, though, that's respectful. So if we're not true to our feelings, for example, then we can feel bitter and resentful and lonely, right? If we are not exploring that and working with people to discuss how we feel. So you're really being asked this month to have emotional courage and to listen to what your heart is saying overall. All right, so that you can learn the wisdom, the heartfelt wisdom that's coming through for you as you let go of all those old stories finally and move into acceptance and forgiveness. Right? Doesn't mean you forget, but forgiveness. So the magical child is also good to work with if you're disheartened and just feeling like things just aren't working out the way you want them to, or as fast as you want them to. And again, remember, this is all about divine timing. This is why I talk about gateways that we're going through so that you know what's coming through moon portals, through gateways. There's astrological events out there that help us understand what's happening so that we can work in the flow with that, not against it, right? And wanting to push things with our will. So the magical child's great when all you can see is dead ends or a no way out, or you feel really stuck, okay? And you're not seeing, and you may be having a lot more bitterness and regret about things. The magical child really helps you see infinite possibilities and the good, and that nothing is wasted. All right, that's the key as well. Now, the shadow of the magical child is the pessimist. So if you're feeling very pessimistic this month, please work with your magical child. And so that you can really see the pure, courageous potential, because it takes courage to see potential in life, to see potential in situations, to see potential in everything that happened to you. It takes a lot of courage to do that. So you can work with that. And as you do, it helps us work in collective harmony with others, okay? Because then we see the potential. So as you embody these two archetypes this month, there'll be more dissolving around that heart chakra and forgiving those, that really hurt you. So that's a big part of what you're going to be working with this month. And work with gratitude this month. That's important. Being grateful for whatever's happening to you every day, or write a gratitude list will really help you. And also, please remember to ask for help when needed. Okay. Really, the trust and faith in our process is important this month. As I said, we're in the water cycle. That means a lot of faith is needed as we move forward. And this is how you do the spiritual work. This is how you're becoming more spiritual, is by developing that faith and that trust and surrender. It's a big part of the ascension process. So I have, as always, recommended vibrational products for you to support you. So you can go to my website and take a look at those. They're 20% off, and my shipping special is still on. So I've got the Lover Essence and Elixir and the Magical Child Essence and Elixir, one of my favorites. I have the Water Element Essence, and water, I'm going to talk about that a bit more here. Water creation cycle. So there's different cycles we go through, okay? And this month is water. It really supports you to know that personal power does not come from force, right? It comes from balance, being in your authentic power in a balanced, heartfelt way. So this cycle also supports us to have more truthful and compassionate communication that nurtures relationships. So that's all part of that heart chakra you're working with. You may find there'll be, as a result, as you work in here and release, then you'll have less constriction on a mental and emotional level. Okay. And really accepting life experiences. So that's what you're looking for this month. Letting go, releasing. And that's a big part of it. I also have the Galactic Shapeshifter Essence for you. So that's an archetype we're working with in the New Earth paradigm all year. I have the Love Chakra Tea and the Love Chakra Spray. So a lot of love this month that we're working with. And so take, a look at some of the symptoms that I have as well for you, the psychospiritual and physical symptoms that I have this month in my Ascension update, the written one. You're going to be working through maybe some bitterness, grief, loneliness, codependency issues, but also perhaps finding more joy, forgiveness, play, right? Unconditional love, heart-centered purpose and spirituality, really feeling like more you're coming into, why you're here, knowing what your purpose is, or at least you've got an inkling and you're moving forward in that, feeling more comfortable, finding more community as a result. So that might be part of it. Watch for perhaps heaviness in the chest or achiness, soreness in that heart and thymus area. We're still clearing out of the subconscious. You'll still be having that sort of wacky kind of dreaming as we are clearing debris, or maybe not a lot of dreaming. I mean, either way, you're still working through it. There might be some flushing, still some congestion up here you might find in the sinus area, lung issues, some circulation issues. I find I have days where I'm really hot and then I'm really cold, and it's not menopause. So, there's a difference. I can feel it. And skin issues are still a big part of what's happening. So things coming out a lot more, perhaps redness, breakouts, rosacea, that type of thing happening. Work with those as best you can, and digestive issues, because we're always shifting in this third chakra as well, and a lot clearing from here, because this is where our sense of self-worth and power is. So lots of digestive issues that are going on, and large intestine issues because of that root chakra focus. So as well as adrenals and the immune system. So fatigue, fatigue, fatigue. So rest when you need to. Again, this is a big process to upgrade, and it's important to embrace that everyone's a little bit different. If you're really interested in terms of how these upgrades actually happen, so there's two things that are going to happen. One is I'm having a free DNA upgrade event this month. So if you get my newsletter, which you may through seeing this video, I will be hosting that and doing a Zoom event about DNA upgrades and how they work, and what's going to be happening in the next one, which is on the 888 gateway. So take a look for that information on my social media and in my newsletter. The other is I just finished teaching my Navigating the Future course, which has the 13 new archetypes in it. It's an experiential course that uses music and mandalas. It's very unique, and the participants that were there really enjoyed it. And I put it on my website with the recordings. It's one that I really suggest if you really want to understand how we're upgrading and what's coming over the next few years, to prepare yourself and understand better, because it's all about awareness, right, as well. Then please consider looking at that course, because I also talk about how we're actually upgrading the light body. Which includes how the melanin is being activated in our body through the cosmic events and coding. So it's very interesting and very enlightening if you're interested in that. All right. So let's get into cosmic dates. We have a June 6th new moon in Gemini, which is also the 6-6 gateway. And the 6-6 gateway is a lot about focusing. Again, the universe is asking us to focus on our spirituality and balancing our physical material, okay, as well as spiritual lives. So again, this is all about continuing to balance, balance, balance. So just keep looking at that kind of lifestyle. How can you have more balance in your life? So that gateway will really help us, along with, again, in nudging us up on that abundance timeline, up, 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 right, in terms of vibration. So that's coming in. So please be positive and know that good things are coming for you. As well as we have a June 8th, which is the 688 gateway. And then we have a June 20th, that's June solstice. So we reach a balance point in the year. So things balance out again, which helps us balance out ourselves. And a June 21st full moon in Capricorn. And this is all in Pacific Daylight Time. I will leave you with a little thought today. And it's a quote, and it's by Mark Twain. And it's, forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. So something for you to think about as you are moving through this month. Know that your heart will heal. Keep telling yourself that you are able to see infinite potential in everything, that you can love and work in collective harmony with others, and that you are creating your own reality in partnership with Spirit. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in a week with my weekly Ascension update. Take care of yourself.